Hey, what's up, guys? Are we live? Good afternoon. Good evening. Are we live? Are we? I cannot see myself yet. I'm supposedly online. Please, there you go. What's up, guys? What's up, Joshua? Hello. See myself yet? There you go. Everything is okay with my audio. Welcome back to another live stream. What a boating trading session, guys. Jesus. A very narrow range. Were you able to take any day trades? I just closed an Apple short. That's all I was able to do today. I also closed a covered call that I sold of Enphase Energy, but other than those two trades, I didn't do much. A very narrow range trading session in which we didn't have a lot of opportunities in order to take trades. Perfect image detailing. Hey, how are you? CH. What's up, guys? Arnold Playton. Verder 0872. Joshua. Welcome back, guys. Please drop a comment down below. Let me know what stocks do you want me to go over. LOL, one trade for 20% on my portfolio early morning. Awesome, bro. What trade was that? Yeah, let us know. Yeah, I didn't do much. At times, guys, we get these kind of boating trading sessions. And when we get these kind of very narrow range trading sessions, the best thing to do is not forcing anything. So I didn't do much. I followed up on the trading session for the 7 hours that it lasted, but I didn't want to force anything. SPY 393 puts. Okay, so that was as soon as the trading session opened, right? Wow, that was a good trade. Sure. Awesome. Toto says Ocean Goose. Is that a stock? Toto? I don't know that stock. Okay, so let's talk about the markets, guys. Please let me know what stocks do you want me to go over. I guess that we are going to be going over the regular stuff. Tesla and Apple and NVDA and stuff like that. Okay, so we had a red day across the board. If you guys remember on our stream that we did, that was like last Thursday, yeah, correct. I told you that we had a handful of stocks doing the heavy lifting. Those stocks are taking a break as of now, and now the question is the break going to be short-lived, or this is going to be a long break? That is going to be very important for the markets in order to pick a direction over here. So Russell 2000 went down, can we say that? It pretty much closed flat, down 0.06%. NASDAQ went down 0.45%. Dow Jones went down, and I am quoting down 0.12%, and the S&P 500 went down 0.16%. Take a look at the advancers and decliners of today's trading session. Today we had pretty much an even number when it comes to the stocks that went higher and lower. So we had 3,224 stocks going higher or going up, and we had 3,227 stocks going down. So when it comes to the ratio between the stocks that went up and down, we cannot make any case for what could be potentially happening in tomorrow's trading session. Guys, keep in mind this. So today, the three most important sectors of the markets went down. I know that you guys are taking trades with the SPY for the most part, and the SPY is going nowhere without the participation of financials. It went down today 0.03%, pretty much closed flat. Healthcare, another very important sector inside the S&P 500, and therefore, in the case of the SPY, the healthcare sector went down today 0.60%, and obviously the most important sector by far, by a long shot, is the tech sector. The most important tech stocks are taking a break as of now. As I just told you, we don't know. It is still yet to be determined whether this break is going to be short or long. If the tech stocks are going to are thinking about taking a long break, we are very likely to see lower prices across the board. The tech sector went down today 0.48%. So I would suggest to you to keep a close watch on these sectors. And if these sectors are going lower and you're thinking about going long the SPY, then you need to think about it twice. Vader 0872 traded SPY 394 put on 1 minute from 1025 to 1040 for a 150 profit. Awesome, bro. Good job. Arnold Playton says, any thoughts on some of the banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup? Yeah, let me go over the SPY, and then I will be going over the stocks that you guys told me to. Keep in mind, by the way, let me ask you, what is the most important macroeconomic data that is coming out this week? Let me see if you guys know. And remember, regardless of whatever any member of the Fed says, or regardless of whatever any macro report says, we trade the technicals, but we need to be aware of the information that could be potentially giving rise to volatility in the market. So let me ask you, what's the most important macroeconomic data that is coming out this week? We have a big one this week. On Friday, come on, guys. You're probably looking it up. So on Friday, we have the core PCE, guys. This is an inflation report that is supposedly very important for the Federal Reserve. So when it comes to inflation, by far, the most important report is the CPI data report. But since we have this situation with the banks and we have rumors, or we have actually the Fed futures signaling that the Fed is very likely to make a pause in the next Federal Open Market Committee that I think is going to be taking place on May 3rd. And don't quote me on that. I would have to double check on that. So the inflation subject or the inflation matter is, as of now, extremely important. So if that core PCE happens to come out worse than expected, that implies that the Fed is going to have to keep on hiking rates, and we have, the interest rate hikes putting a lot of pressure over the banks when it comes to their balance sheets. And if that report happens to come out better than expected, then the bulls are going to be arguing that the Fed might be done, that inflation is already coming down, and that they can make a pause and wait for the lagging effect of the interest rate hikes to have their full effect over the economy. So that is going to be very important. Remember, on Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please do not leave any positions opened on Thursday, okay, overnight, because we are very likely to see a wild swing, either up or down, once this core PCE happens to be posted, as I just told you, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Keep also in mind that on Friday we have the end of the first quarter of this year, so we could see a bit of portfolios rebalancing on Friday, mostly into the closing bell. So I would be expecting some sort of a wild power hour on Friday, because it is going to be the very last trading session of the first quarter of 2023. So those are two aspects that you guys need to keep in mind for the rest of the week. Okay. Oh yeah, core PCE. I have it in notes for Friday. Awesome. It comes out at 8:30 a.m. So you don't need to do anything. The report comes out. We wait for the reaction of the markets, and then we determine what are the technical areas that we need to keep a close watch on, and that's it. The trading session is going to be opening an hour after the report comes out. So we're going to have plenty of time in order to think about a trading plan. Okay, SPY, guys. Are we going higher or lower tomorrow? Who knows? Today we had a choppy trading session. So what am I thinking about tomorrow's trading session, or for the trading sessions that we have into Friday? We have 3 more trading sessions. So we have this anchored volume weighted average price that comes from the high of the year on February 3rd, that comes at 398. Very important level of supply or resistance for the bulls. And on the flip side, And if we are going to be talking about support, we have an anchored volume weighted average price that comes from the October low at 392. So these are going to be the most important levels that I am going to be monitoring from tomorrow and on. So if the bulls can consolidate, if they can take out 398 and they can start closing candles, or even better, if they can close tomorrow's trading session above 398, that could be a sign that they are going to start to gather momentum in order to potentially being able to fill two gaps to the upside. The first one, 402. This is a previous resistance back from March 22nd. And if we happen to see a more sizable rally, watch out for 406, $406. I think that these two gaps are tasks that the bulls could be carrying out in the upcoming trading sessions if, for whatever reason, they decide to push the tape higher. On the flip side, and as I just told you, we have an anchored volume weighted average price that comes from the October low at 392-ish. And guess what, guys? That anchor volume weighted average price happens to coincide with none other than the 200 DMA, 200-day moving average. Very important and key level for the SPY at 392. I'm thinking that if this level at around 392, which, as I just told you, happens to coincide with both the 200 DMA and the anchored volume weighted average price that comes from the October low, if this support happens to be taken out, watch out for a drop, maybe down to 385. This is going to be, in my opinion, the most important line of defense for the bulls. But you also need to keep in mind that the trend is up, guys. Take a look. The bulls are still trading above this downward sloping trend line that comes from all-time high. They are trading above the 200 DMA. They actually managed to close today's trading session above the 100 DMA. It was taken out. It was broken to the downside. The bulls managed to defend the 5 DMA. They burst above the 5 DMA. They burst above VWAP. They also managed to burst above the 100 DMA. So we can make the case that we had a solid close today. We actually managed, if I am not mistaken, the bulls were able to close above yesterday's low. We had a decent close today. So I'm thinking that since the trend is up, I think that since the trend is up, the SPY is innocent until proven guilty, and that, yeah, higher prices might be coming up for the bulls if, remember, if they can open any trading session above 398 and they can start to consolidate slightly above that level. So those are my levels in the case of the SPY. If you have any questions for the SPY, please let me know. Okay, let's go over some stocks over here. What do you think about Micron? They just posted earnings. I took a look at the loss. So they are losing more money relative to the estimate. What is Micron doing after hours? Let me see. It is going higher. It is up how much? Something like 2%. Let me take a look at the report. What did they do? Do I have the information handy? Let me see. So EPS came in at a loss of $1.91, missing the estimate of 81 cents. Jesus Christ. They are losing money left and right as of now. Okay, sales came in at $3.69 billion, missing the estimate of $3.72 billion. Why are they going higher? This was a very poor report, right? Maybe guidance is upbeat. Okay, Micron Technology guides for the Q3 loss from $1.51 up to $1.61, whereas the estimate is 92 cents per share. So, okay, but they are saying that they might be able to post a profit on the next quarter rather than a loss. So that's positive. And revenue is expected at, or Micron sees revenue for the next quarter between $3.5 up to $3.9 billion versus an estimate of $3.75 billion. So yeah, the report was very poor when it comes to the quarter that they are reporting as of now. But the commercial guidance came out better than expected. This is a very choppy chart. I don't have much to say about it. So Micron went down today 0.85%, and it closed the trading session at $59.28. As of now, the bulls are trading above the 200 DMA, 100 DMA as well. We have an upward sloping 5 DMA. So I would be waiting for a process of consolidation slightly above this upward sloping 5 DMA, slightly above $60. And if that were the case, we have a gap up to $65, which happens to be a previous resistance back from late January, and also a previous resistance back from mid-November. So watch out for this level in the case of Micron, slightly above $60. And if this support of the 5 DMA at around $60 happens to be taken out, we could maybe see Micron paying a visit down to the 200 DMA, $58-ish. It is trying to reverse, the chart is trying to reverse a horrible downtrend inside which Micron traded for quite some time. But I don't know, I'm not really certain that Micron is out of the woods quite yet. A process of consolidation slightly above $60 would be a good sign. Let me take a look at the market structure of Micron. You guys know that this is a tool that I use on a daily basis. It helps me to determine who is in charge of any given technical chart from a supply and demand standpoint. And yeah, we have a very nice looking market structure for Micron. We have an ascending demand that is above the supply. The supply is above average and rising, but we also have an ascending demand. So watch out for this support at around $60. Important area for Micron. What do you think about Tesla? Is there a possibility it will continue to rise tomorrow? Yeah, let me take a look at TSLA. And by the way, guys, Elon tweeted yesterday that he's losing money left and right on Twitter. Don't you guys think that is some sort of a bad sign? So he promised that he isn't going to sell Tesla shares throughout this year. But do you guys think that was just that was something that Elon just tweeted? So he said that Twitter has lost half of the value or half of the market cap that he actually paid for that investment. I don't know. In my case, and you guys know that I am a Tesla shareholder myself. I don't know. It was a bit concerning. I think that he might be preparing the ground in order to keep on dumping Tesla shares. Okay, Tesla went down today 1.37% closed the trading session at $189.19. So as of now, the bulls are right below $190. This is an important 198. Let me pull up here. Hold on, guys. A 1 hour chart. Okay, so the bulls failed today right at the 5 DMA, and this 5 DMA is going to be the most important immediate resistance that the bulls of Tesla are going to have to deal with. If the bulls can take out 191-ish, $190.50, that could be a sign that they might be potentially being able to fill the next gap up to $198, which has turned into a very important level of supply for Tesla or resistance. The bulls have failed right at $198 on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions recently. 198 might be a spot in which I might be considering grabbing Tesla puts. If the bulls open the trading session below $191.50-ish, then we could, and obviously if the tech sector keeps on pulling back and consumer discretionary, which happens to be the sector in which Tesla trades in, we could be seeing another visit down to $180, which happens to be a previous resistance back from mid-March and also a previous support back from early March. So these are the levels that I am going to be monitoring. In the case of Tesla, watch out for a burst above $190 that could open the door for $198. And in the case of a failed test at $191.50, we could be potentially seeing Tesla dropping down to $180. Keep in mind that Tesla is still in a major downtrend. Take a look. We have a downward slope in 200 DMA. We also have a downward slope in 100 DMA. So Tesla is guilty until proven innocent. Let me take a look at the market structure of TSLA. Let me see. Alrighty. And we have a very compelling market structure for Tesla, guys. Take a look. Remember, what you guys are seeing on top of this chart is the demand, so buyers. And what you guys see at the bottom of the chart is the supply, so sellers. As of now, buyers, as you guys can see over here, are outnumbering sellers. We have a rise in demand that is above the supply. So this is a good sign. Maybe Tesla is about to take out this 5-day moving average. And by doing so, maybe being able to fill this gap, this next gap up to $198. It could continue to rise tomorrow. It is possible, yeah. From a market structure standpoint, I think that this is on the cards. And obviously, remember, this is going to depend on whatever the NASDAQ 100 is doing, or the triple Qs, and consumer discretionary, and the tech sector. So you shouldn't be taking any trades with any given stock without paying a close attention to what the major indices are doing. And Tesla is not an exception to the rule, okay? Okay, NVDA, I got puts in red. Let me take a look at NVDA. What's your break-even price on NVDA? On those NVIDIA puts, it went down today 0.46%. Closed the trading session at $264.10. Let me pull up here 1 hour short. So, resistance. This is an important level for NVIDIA, $266. $266 is a previous support back from late March. This is also a previous resistance back from mid-March. More specifically, this $266 acted as resistance back on March 21st. By the way, we have the coincidence of a previous area of resistance and support with the 5 DMA. So I'm thinking right at $266. If the bulls of NVIDIA can take out this upward sloping 5 DMA, they could be potentially being able to fill the next gap. We have two gaps over here, 270 and also $275. So NVIDIA is in an uptrend. There's nothing wrong with this chart. We can still make the case that NVIDIA is a bit overextended, but depending on your extrinsic value and depending on your break-even, you could be seeing gains anytime soon. If NVIDIA, I can see NVIDIA failing at $266. And remember, guys, we are seeing some sort of weakness on most of the big tech stocks, the NVIDIAs of the world and the Apples of the world and so forth. So if the tech sector keeps on showing weakness, then I can see NVIDIA failing at this 5 DMA, this upward sloping 5 DMA, and maybe retracing down to $250. $250 is a previous support back from March 20th. So these are the scenarios that I am seeing in the case of NVIDIA. And obviously, if you guys are going to take trades or start any trades on semiconductor stocks, you need to keep a close watch on this gentleman. SMH, the semiconductor ETF, which is showing some sort of weakness. So let's see what happens. It all depends on the break that the tech stocks are taking as of now. Is it going to be a short break? Is it going to be a longer break? We don't know quite yet. Okay, Dollar Tree and Lululemon. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at Lulu. Let me take a look at the LTR. Okay, Dollar Tree. I haven't taken a look at this stock. Consumer staples. Major downtrend, below a downward sloping 200-day moving average, below a downward sloping 100-day moving average. The buyers kind of recently stepped in. How can I determine that? Well, because the Dollar Tree was able to take out this downward sloping 5 DMA. So that implies that in minor time frames, the buyers are starting to show up, which is a good sign. You guys know that I don't like trading downtrends. However, let me draw a line over here. What about a process of consolidation of Dollar Tree, which went up today 2.11%, and it closed the trading session at $141.66. So there is some sort of hope if the bulls manage to consolidate slightly above $139. This is also a previous support back from mid-December and also a previous support back from late October. So a process of consolidation slightly above $139-ish could be a sign that the bulls are gathering strength in order to make another push higher and maybe being able to fill this gap up to the 100 EMA at $147 from 138 bucks up to $147. You're looking at a 5.73% profit trade. RSI sitting at 57 points. That implies that Dollar Tree is neither oversold nor overbought. So in my opinion, this is a line in the sand. 138 bucks, above 138 bucks, we could be thinking about going long. And if this support happens to be taken out, that's it. Or you guys can start a trade at around 138 bucks. And if this support happens to be broken to the downside, then that's it. We can set a stop at around 137-ish, a bit below this low. Yeah, $136. Let me take a look at the market structure of Dollar Tree. Let me see. So what is supply and demand looking like? Okay, so we have a demand that is slightly above the supply. However, the supply is decreasing and below the average. So this is a good sign. This support of 138-ish might act as such or keep on acting as such. And maybe we could be seeing, we could be about to see Dollar Tree climbing up to $147. Can you short Netflix? Absolutely. Sure. Lululemon. This is a request that I had from a bit earlier. Let me take a look. Wow, this thing really gapped higher, guys. Take a look at this. Oh my God, what did they do on earnings? Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't have much to say here. Lululemon is up 14% after hours. Let me see. What did they do on earnings? Okay, let me see. I have the commercial guidance. Do I have EPS? Okay. So EPS came in at $4.40, beating the estimate of $4.26, and sales came in at $2.77 billion, beating the estimate of $2.70 billion. So they beat on both top and bottom line. And okay, Lulu guides for Q1 EPS from $1.93 up to $2. Whereas the consensus is, what is the EPS? $1.64. So they did beat on EPS when it comes to guidance. And revenue, they're guiding between $1.99 billion up to $1.93 billion for the next quarter. And the estimate was $1.85 billion. So, yeah, they beat on everything. The EPS, revenue, and they are also up guiding. So this is a good sign for Lulu. I wouldn't chase it here, actually. I recently lost some bucks on Lulu puts. I got stopped out of the trade. Very overextended. We might see profit taking tomorrow, and I would be waiting Lulu. Let me see. Let me pull up here a 1 year short. So Lulu is trading after hours at 356. So we are somewhere around here. Let me see. Oh, I don't see any trade here, guys. I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't chase it. It is very overextended. Take a look at the RSI on the 4 hour chart. It is sitting at 83 points. We might see profit taking tomorrow, in which case, if we actually happen to see profit taken, I would be waiting for a pullback down to 336. $336 is a previous resistance back from early December. We are seeing over here a previous resistance that now might be acting as a new support. And I would expect profit taking here. Figure, guys, how many people that maybe gambled on earnings in the case of Lulu, and how many long-term investors in Lulu as of now are sitting in massive gains because of this report. So Lulu is up something like 14% after hours. So I would be expecting profit taken, in which case maybe a pullback down to $336 could be an opportunity. I wouldn't chase it here at all. Okay, Let me take a look, by the way, at the market structure of Lulu. Let me see. So what is the market structure of Lulu looking like? We are 29 minutes in. Okay, yeah, take a look. Perfect market structure. We have a rise in demand that is above the supply. The supply happens to be above average, but the demand is clearly above the supply. So nothing wrong with Lulu market structure-wise. But I would still be waiting tomorrow for profit taking. And if we don't see any profit taking, I am not chasing Lulu here. Impossible. Okay. Netflix. I haven't taken a look at Netflix. Let me see in quite some time what is going on in the case of Netflix. Went down today 1.26%. I think that communication services actually went lower. Let me don't quote me on that. Yeah, actually, communication services was the worst performing sector today. It went down 0.80%. Okay. Netflix. So, still in an uptrend. It is trading above an upward sloping 200 DMA, an upward sloping 100 DMA. We can also see over here an upward sloping 5 DMA. So it closed the trading session today at $323. This is an acceptable looking short. I would be waiting for a process of consolidation slightly above this upward sloping 5 DMA at around $320. If that is the case, we have two gaps over here. The first one up to $335, an area of resistance in which Netflix failed recently. This is also a previous resistance back from early January and also a previous resistance back from early December. This is a very interesting chart in the case of Netflix. Let's say that we pick up some calls or some shares at $321. And if this support of $320 happens to act as such, so from $320 up to $334, we are looking at a 4% profit. And I can also see over here another gap up to $348. This would be an 8% profit trade. This is a very volatile stock that could make this push to the upside in one single trading session, no problem. In the case of $348, this is a previous support back from late January. So as long as the support of $320 holds, this is a legit trade to the upside, in my opinion. RSI at 60 points, very healthy. From a technical standpoint on the 4-hour chart, let me take a look at the market structure of good old Netflix. Let me see. Netflix, alrighty. And if you're going, or if you're thinking about taking a trade on Netflix, keep a close watch on this gentleman, guys. XLC, communication services. If this sector is going lower, then that's a red light in order to start a trade on Netflix. Okay, let me go back to the market structure of Netflix. And check this out. Beautiful market structure for Netflix. So buyers, I can confirm from a market structure standpoint that buyers are in total control of this chart. So we have an uptrend, a clear uptrend. And on top of that, I have a rise in demand that is above the supply. So yeah, this is a green light in order to go long Netflix if this support of $320 keeps on holding. Okay, Lulu, do you guys have any other stock that you guys want me to go over? Okay, any thoughts on some of the banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup? Bank of America maybe? Guys, the problem with these bank stocks is that all of these charts are totally broken from a technical standpoint. I don't trade downtrends. And obviously, Bank of America is not going belly up. And JP Morgan isn't going belly up. But this is a high-risk trade. We could be getting any bad news about another bank that has liquidity issues and stuff at any given moment. And if that is the case, all of these all of these bank stocks are going to take a hit. So this is a very risky trade. In the case of Bank of America, the chart doesn't say anything positive other than the fact that the bulls were able to take out this downward sloping 5 DMA, $27.26. I don't see a trade here. I am simply staying away from these bank stocks. I think that we are going to get more bad news about other banks having issues. And if that is the case, let's say that we start a swing trade, guys, because Bank of America is holding 27 bucks as support. Great. And we can make the case that if this support of 27 bucks happens to hold, we have a possible gap up to $30. $30 is a previous support back from July of last year. So yeah, perfect. I got some shares at 27 bucks, and I am planning on holding these shares up to $30. This would be a 6% profit trade. But maybe in the middle of this trade, we happen to get more news or more bad news about another bank that has liquidity issues or that is going belly up or that needs to be bailed out. And guess what? Bank of America drops down to $26. So I don't see a compelling case in order to start a trade with any of these bank stocks for the time being. Maybe later on, down the road, I will do it. Yeah, Goldman Sachs in regard to banks. Yeah, I took a trade on Goldman last week. The trade didn't go in my favor right away. And guys, I gotta tell you, I had a tough time in order to. I'm not gonna say that I lost sleep over because that wasn't the case, but I had to take a pill in order to go to bed. The trade ended up being successful, and after that trade, I decided to stay away from banks because ever since this bank crisis started out, I shorted the First Republic Bank. I also went long. Both trades went on my favor. But in the case of Goldman Sachs, the stock dropped, and I held it because I bought call options and I had extrinsic value. But that night, I really had a hard time, and I decided to stay away from these banks. In the case of Goldman Sachs, another absolutely broken short from a technical standpoint. From a technical standpoint, below the 100 EMA, below the 200 EMA. The only positive thing that we can say about Goldman is the fact that the bulls are holding 314 bucks. 314 bucks happens to coincide with the 5 DMA, and this is also a previous resistance back from early October. So again, we can make the case that, yeah, if Goldman happens to hold 314 bucks as support, we have a coincidence between the 5 DMA and a previous area of resistance, then maybe Goldman could be making a push higher, and it could go up to maybe 325 bucks, which happens to be a previous support back from early September of last year. If that were the case, we could be making a 3% profit. But what happens, guys, if we are in the middle of this trade and another bank happens to go belly up? The risk is simply too high. So I'm just staying away from these bank stocks. And in the case of Goldman, I don't know. Yeah, maybe if 314 bucks happens to be held as support, then that's fine. The RSI is sitting at 54 points for our short, so it could go higher, but the risk is very high in my opinion. Let me take a look at Goldman here, market structure-wise. Do we have people interested in buying Goldman? Take a look at this, guys. Take a look at the supply. This is a red flag. Look. Take a look at the demand. Little to none demand. Take a look on the top of the chart. It is starting to rise, which is a good sign, but it's too little relative to the supply, which is rising way above the demand. So this implies that sellers are in absolute control of the technical chart. So we'd better stay away from Goldman Sachs and any other bank stocks, in my opinion, for the time being. Coinbase, sure. We are 38 minutes in. I am about to wrap it up. I don't want to go longer than 40 minutes because after I am done with this live stream, I am going to release it in my YouTube channel. And if the live stream goes, or if the live stream is longer than 45 minutes, then I don't get any views. And by the way, guys, if you don't mind, once the live stream is done, if you don't mind going to my YouTube channel and dropping a comment and hitting the like button and stuff, then I would certainly be thankful for you for that with you. Okay, Coinbase. Goes up today 0.80%, closed the trading session at $63.04. This is a stock that I know very well. So 200 EMA, this 200 EMA at around $60 is an extremely important area of support for Coinbase. Above $60 or above this 200 EMA, this could be a long trade up to $67, which is an area of resistance in which Coinbase has failed on multiple occasions recently, on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions. And if this downward sloping 200 EMA happens to be taken out, then we could be seeing Coinbase maybe paying a visit down to this 100 EMA at around $52. So this is an easy one, guys. RSI at 40 points on the 4-hour chart. That implies that Coinbase could be going either way, up or down. So it went up today 0.60%, and it closed the trading session at $63.04. Any retest down to $60, and if you guys happen to be able to confirm that the bulls of Coinbase are holding this 200 EMA at around $60, this could very well be a legit bounce back up trade up to $67-ish. Or if this support happens to be broken to the downside, then we have a gap down to $53-ish. Let me take a look at the market structure of good old Coinbase. Let me see. Let me have a zip of Sprite here, guys. Okay, coin. Sorry, guys. Hey, take a look. So, look at the demand. It is skyrocketing. And it is way above the supply. And the supply is below average. So I'm thinking, I could be mistaken, that Coinbase is very likely, or is more likely to fill this gap up to $67, which I just told you guys is a previous area of resistance, rather than paying a visit down to this 100 EMA at $52. This stock is going to be on my watch list for tomorrow's trading session. Absolutely. What's your YouTube channel? The Bilingual Stock Market channel. Yeah, I guess that. Don't you guys have? There you go. If you hide the live chat, you're going to see the name of the channel. And if you guys don't mind, like subscribing and stuff, then that's good. Awesome. Okay. Let me see. I lost the live chat. AMC. This was a shit show today. Do you guys believe that Amazon is really interested in buying AMC, guys? I don't think so. Jeff Bezos was saying like 2 months ago, if you guys happen to remember, hey, we're heading into a recession, so you'd better save some money and be ready for a rainy day, and you need to cut unnecessary expenses. And now they're going to buy AMC Entertainment. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. So the stock went up today, what, like 13% on this news, that Amazon is supposedly interested in buying out AMC. And it closed the trading session at $5.15. I have nothing constructive to say over here. A major downtrend below a downward sloping 200 EMA, downward sloping 100 EMA. The bulls actually failed right at this 100 EMA, downward sloping 100 EMA at $6. So I don't know, guys, if Amazon doesn't deny the news, and tomorrow we have some sort of hype in regard to AMC, watch out for the bulls maybe taking out this downward sloping 100 EMA and maybe, I don't know, filling the next gap up to $8.70. I am not going to be a participant in this trade. I think that we are I think that we are about to see a classic buy the rumor, sell the news. So I have nothing important to say over here. If the bulls take out $5.80 on good volume and momentum, why not? And if the hype keeps on going, and if Amazon doesn't deny the news, what about AMC climbing up to $8.90? This would be, get these guys, a 61% profit trade. Jesus Christ. Absolutely insane. Okay, guys, I am going to wrap it up here. 44 minutes in. So thank you very much for joining me today. Remember, I am live streaming for you on Tuesdays once the market closes at around 4:30 p.m. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys on next Tuesday. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and manage your risk properly, okay? So please stay away from the banks. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thanks.